Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. There's been a heartbreaking development in the story of a Rugby family devastated by the loss of their 22-month-old daughter in a house fire. Emergency services confirming her 5-year-old sister died overnight. Neighbours today recounting the moment they mobilised to save the family. And a warning, some viewers may find the details in this story distressing.
Life taken too soon. Police confirming Jordan, the 5-year-old sister of 22-month-old Harlan, died overnight after fighting for her life the past 2 days. What was supposed to be a Sunday birthday celebration quickly changed when the fire broke out at the Ben Boyd Circle home. Jordan, Harlan and several others were trapped inside, with neighbours describing the scene as confronting.
I'm screaming, help, 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 get out.
So full of smoke, we could just see their handprints and stuff, and they were banging. And
the neighbours running into the fully ablaze home.
just ran straight for it because, we knew there was kids in that house.
Doing everything to free those trapped.
We had to smash the windows to get them out, and it was just crazy.
It's a memory they say they'll never forget.
Absolutely traumatic, and it's a vision that I don't think I'll get out of my head.
Brad and Andrea say it was a huge neighbourhood effort, with many others living nearby also running into the inferno, doing what they could to help free the trapped children and adults. The fire's cause hasn't been determined, but foul play has been ruled out, with police saying there are no suspicious circumstances, with the fire originating in the lounge room. One adult remains in a stable condition at the Royal Hobart Hospital, while 3 other children have been discharged. Jordan's being remembered by her family as their brave little hero. Rebecca Gaidaneris, 7 Tasmania News.
In a little over an hour's time, the Hobart Hurricanes will face the Sydney Sixers in the first qualifying match of the Big Bash season. Reporter Lily Thompson is at Ninja Stadium. Hello, Lily. What can we expect crowd numbers to look like tonight?
Well, Lou, one thing's for sure, we're set to see a whole lot of purple here at Ninja Stadium tonight. With more than 15,000 fans expected to walk through the gates, it's set to be the league's largest ever finals crowd here in Hobart. Now, if they win, the Hurricanes move straight through to next week's decider. But if they lose, they do get another chance and play again towards the end of the week. It's been an extremely successful campaign for the Purple Army, finishing the regular season on top of the ladder. I spoke to spinner Peter Hatzoglu earlier, and here's what he had to say.
We've played good cricket, so I think it's just going to be to stick to that. But, they've got a number of good players, Josh Phillippe, Moises Enriquez, Jordan Silk, the captain of Tasmania. So we'll stick to our own processes, but, we've got a few guys to be vigilant of.
So whether you're watching from TV or from the game here, get excited, get behind the players and cheer them on. But of course, Lou, I'll be back with all the day's sport news live from Ninja Stadium a little later.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Lily. An environmental and Aboriginal rights activist arrested during an anti-logging protest says Tasmanian courts have no jurisdiction over First Nations people. Ruth Langford was charged with trespass after being arrested at a logging coupe in the Eastern Tiers Forest Reserve near Swansea.
There is a law currently here that says you shall not damage the habitat of endangered species, and that's what we witnessed. That's why we're there.
This morning's rally was part of Elder Jim Everett's call for 20 days of protests in the lead-up to Australia Day. The Australian Medical Association's Tasmania branch has compiled a wish list for the upcoming state budget. The peak medical body is calling for more health sector funding, a tertiary hospital in the state's south, and more support for general practice, among other priorities.
We need there to be serious reform and discussion around revenue raising so that we can actually fund the healthcare based on the demand and the services we need to provide.
Treasurer Guy Barnett is expected to hand down the budget in May. The opposition has seized on new figures showing a dramatic rise in business collapses in Tasmania over the past 2 years. With hospitality operators struggling across the state, the government is being called on to do more to help them stay afloat.
With cost of living issues continuing to bite and operating costs going up, times are tough for many Tasmanian businesses. And new data from the Australian Securities and Investments Commission has Labor fearing more are struggling to cope.
64 businesses in the first half of this financial year have become insolvent.
That's a 481% increase on the first 6 months of the 2022 financial year. The opposition blaming the state government for a lack of action.
This is a government that has been reactive. It has been in denial on major issues.
Construction topping the insolvencies list nationally, while food and accommodation saw the largest increase in company collapses from the last financial year to this year. Tasmania's Peak Business Group says hospitality is the worst affected due to issues felt across the country.
We've seen again the reduce in that disposable income playing out at the store. You know, people aren't buying their daily coffee, they aren't spending as much on meals as they used to.
The government insisting it's playing its part.
Show us where red tape is getting in the way of productivity, and we will do our very best to make business easier.
But business leaders say more could be done locally.
I think we need to have a review of all of those layers of state, local and federal government that adds cost to doing business.
Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
And Murph is back out on the road, taking in what you can see locally as part of Tourism Tasmania's Longer Days offering. Murph, where in Tassie are you joining us from this week?
Well, thank you very much, Lou. I'm glad you asked. We're here at the seaside port city of Strawn, population 600 during winter and population around about 1 million during summer. One of those 600 is Talia, who with her sister Michaela have the coffee shack here right on the port. Hey, Talia.
How you going?
All right, you've been here for a little while. You must meet a lot of people going to and from the attractions.
Yeah, we meet millions of people passing through every summer. We've had lots of wonderful people come in and meet them in the shop, including some lovely Argentinians who loved it so much they ended up staying here for a couple of summers.
I thought you might talk people out of coming here and staying. It's a well-kept secret, isn't it?
Yeah, best kept secret. It's always raining in Strawn.
Yeah, look at it. It's always sunny every time I'm here. You're just over from the cruises and you're not far from the train station. And let me ask you a question. What's the longest running stage show in Australia?
That would be The Ship That Never Was, just down the road from us.
And I know that because I've auditioned a couple of times, Talia. I haven't got a part.
That doesn't surprise me.
Nothing surprises Talia, obviously. Lots of things to do here in Strawn. When people come and talk to Talia, she also gives them a few ideas as to where to go. What sort of things can we do?
Yeah, so we're in one of the most beautiful places in Australia. You've got Ocean Beach, Macquarie Heads and the wonderful Hogarth Falls. Just really beautiful natural spots you can go and see.
And of course I've got to pop in here first and grab a coffee and a takeaway sandwich, and they're all set for a great day out.
That sounds perfect.
Thanks, Talia. Yes, we are here at Strawn as we encourage people to jump in the car, have a bit of a trip around and see what's in your own backyard. Back later with the weather.
Activists have raised concerns about the ongoing biodiversity impacts of fish farming in Tasmania after the US state of Washington recently banned the practice. Neighbours of Fish Farming and Wild Fish Conservatory accusing Cook Aquaculture, which owns Tassal, of environmental breaches globally. They're demanding the state government follow the American West Coast states' lead.
This was not something that was easy to do. It took 10 years, and it took 10 years of the public just showing up over and over and over and over again.
Resources Minister Erica Betts says Tasmania's fish farming industry is world leading and is monitored to ensure best practice. A world first project is on track to transform Tasmania's aluminium industry and reduce its reliance on imports. Pioneered by 2 industry leaders, the breakthrough technology is slashing waste and saving millions of dollars.
Bell Bay's aluminium industry creates hundreds of jobs and millions in profits, but also tons of waste.
What we currently do with that waste product is we reprocess it, we put it back through our process, and it doesn't go anywhere.
But a revolutionary technology is set to change that.
We've identified this opportunity first, moved the fastest.
Transforming waste from the smelting process into valuable chemicals, including aluminium fluoride, a material vital for production.
We cannot run an aluminium smelter without aluminium fluoride.
The clever bit of the processing is the design of the reactors and the conditions under which the reaction takes place.
Australia is currently the world's largest aluminium manufacturer, but doesn't produce the crucial component locally. relying instead on thousands of tonnes of imported material every year.
The product is used in our chemistry to balance the process.
The state government offering its support to help the project find its feet.
With a $1 million loan to assist the startup.
The pilot plant will initially employ 10 highly skilled workers.
And then that will enable us to have the confidence to build a commercial plant in the same region.
Growing into a site with more than 100 full-time equivalent positions.
This is a game changer for aluminium smelting.
You couldn't get a better example of the circular economy.
Using cutting-edge technology to forge a sustainable future. Tom Crosby, 7 Tasmania News.
Intercity bus travellers leaving from Launceston may not have to wait outside in the cold this winter. An application for the development of a new regional transit centre has been submitted to the council. If approved, construction could be completed as early as May. Commuters have been forced to wait at a makeshift bus stop constructed with shipping containers since the closure of the old centre at Cornwall Square almost 2 years ago. The Jack Jumpers are gearing up for their annual Teal charity game, raising money and awareness for gynecological cancers. Players and coaches will don a specialty jersey for a cause close to their hearts.
Turning teal for the women of Tasmania. For the 4th year, the Jack Jumpers are partnering with the She Foundation for their last home game of the regular season. It's a charity started by one of the team's directors, Scott Harris, who lost his wife Jo to ovarian cancer in April 2023.
Jo certainly was committed in her, in her toughest times to use that the tough diagnosis that she had to create awareness.
The Jack Jumpers determined to honour Jo's legacy.
Everyone was sort of invested in her journey and what this meant, and I think that has continued well beyond her passing.
Standing in the building, slated to become a new cancer wellness centre. While there's no fundraising target, the club has raised more than $150,000 over the past 3 years.
The more funds we get, the quicker that this can get up and running.
It's bigger than basketball, and it's quite personal for me. I've lost 2 family members to cancer.
The cause close to the coach's heart.
Every now and then I would get a text after a game and she's actually in the hospital watching the game, and so it became quite emotional for me.
The game will be held on Saturday, February 8, when the Jack Jumpers face the Cairns Taipans at MyState Bank Arena. The teal jerseys go on sale from Thursday.
The support you get for this game has been over the top, and I can't wait to see all the teal jerseys come game day.
Just to see the commitment to this the club has, it's not just another charity game, they're actually right in behind this.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
A Hobart Cat Shelter is putting out an urgent call for foster carers with an expected bumper season for kittens. 10 Lives needs hundreds of helpers to keep up with demand.
Inundated with cats and kittens in our care at the stage, with over 220 in our care. Yesterday alone we took 20 cats and kittens.
Every cat or kitten that you look after is a cat or kitten that didn't have your care before, so it's really worthwhile.
All carers will be provided training, and while there's no obligation to foster a kitten long term, the centre's welcoming any permanent carers. Bank Tasmania has received a financial boost, collecting $25,000 from a charity football game. The Relive the Rivalry match saw football legends take to the field, helping those battling food insecurities.
We sponsor Bank's Breakfast and Schools program. It looks after 2,500 kids daily statewide.
40% of Tasmanian families are struggling with food insecurity, and the generosity and the money raised from this game will really go to helping us support those people.
This year's game will be held in October, with the location set to be announced later this week. Peter Murphy will join us after the break with the weather forecast.
Well, welcome back to the sunny seaside centre of Strawn on Tasmania's rugged west coast. It's a rugged, pristine wilderness with some wonderful people. Got Talia here from the Coffee Shack. Thanks, Talia, for showing us around.
No worries.
I tell you what, it's going to be a big year for Strawn, isn't it?
Yeah, looking like it's going to be a great year for tourism, but
a better year for the Sydney Swans.
Hey, another Swan supporter, that's all we need. You're welcome aboard. You can do the weather with us every night. Speaking of the weather, let's see what happened around the state today. And Hobart, a maximum of 25 degrees today. Launceston 27, Devonport and Burnie 23. Ooze the warmest around the state with 31. Temperatures sat between 2 and 6 degrees above average. Bushy Park hit 30, Grove 27, Friendly Beaches and Flinders Island 26, King Island and Lyowini 24, St Helens 23, as it was here in Strawn 23, a couple of degrees above the average. We did have some patchy cloud today. No rainfall to report though, with clear skies over the north and northeast. The cyclone has whipped up all the cloud over WA, cloud also over the tropics, along with a large portion of Queensland and New South Wales. A cloud band is also approaching Tasmania. Tomorrow, the trough still cuts through the mainland as the tropical cyclone sits off the WA coast. A high moves over the Bight as the front pitches to our east. Here are the winds. They'll be southwesterly tomorrow, up to 20 to 30 knots. Swells at 3.5 metres in southern waters. We do have a strong wind warning that's been issued for all Tasmanian coastal waters tomorrow. Now, the forecast for tomorrow: Hobart, just a morning shower and 18 degrees. Same forecast for Geeveston and Bothwell. Launceston and Cressy, partly cloudy. The chance of a late shower for Devonport and 23. A slight chance of a shower for Burnie as well. Strawn 19 with a shower or two, and Curry, a windy 20 degrees. Possible showers over the east as well. 21 for St Helens and Swansea and 18 in Orford. A few showers on Thursday, mainly over the north and west of the state. The chance of a shower into Friday, contracting to the west. And on Saturday, a fine partly cloudy day after the chance of early fog over the north. And further north, partly cloudy and 38 in Perth tomorrow, 28 the top for Adelaide. A shower clearing Melbourne. A hot day for Sydney ahead of an afternoon change, partly cloudy and 36 in Brisbane. And current conditions here in Strawn are absolutely perfect for getting out and about and having a look around. It doesn't matter if you're in the north, south, east or west, there's something great to see here in Tasmania in our own backyard, and possibly something you've never tried before. So if you are looking for ideas, head to Discover Tasmania/longer days. Plenty of ideas there, or drop into Tourist Information Centre. Look forward to seeing you somewhere new over the next few weeks as the longer days are with us, so we can enjoy the summer that we've got now.
Isn't it gorgeous? Thank you for that, Murph. Have fun. That's all your news for now. I will be back later on with updates. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.